Alright, gonna do a little work to the Mercedes Benz. Snarly. Anyway, yep, I'm gonna do air filters and spark plugs. So the first thing we're gonna do is, bye-bye, take that off. Then what we're gonna do is we gotta get the air filter box off, which is this. You can see the air intake 1, air intake 2, and those tubes run up, and there's a filter here and a filter here, and it goes through and into the throttle body. So, and around the ECU, which, you know, that's just the smartest place to put an electronic device. But anyway, yoink, yoink, yoink. You're like, oh, okay, cool. It's pretty much that easy. Pop the clip off. Oh wait, it's not. And most people whoever I heard me bitch about it know why. Oh, that's right, the whole strut bar is coming off. So we gotta take this strut bar off, which means yoink. Set that there. And yep, so we're gonna pull that strut. Don't forget, these are inverted torques. Pretty much the whole engine's built with them. There's pretty much inverted torques everywhere. That's just kind of the way that they built this thing. If they're normal torques, they're inverted torques. So that's just the way this whole engine's built, including parts of the car. So again, you know, you got your inverted torques. You know, you just bang your bong. No big deal. We do gotta pull this little son of a biscuit, which is the inlet for the HVAC. So I believe we can just kind of push up on these. Yeah, probably just need a screwdriver. I got a Torx screwdriver, but that should work. This is how you work on a $100,000 car, baby. The sticker on this car actually wasn't quite 100,000. It was like, I think 90,000. But you know, that was 10 years ago, which really wasn't that long ago. Yeah. Change your cabin air filter while you're at it, and then we'll just pop those and get this strut tower bar off so we can get that air filter assembly. Alright, so I just unbolted that there. I'm going to come up. I'm gonna slide it. Oh, let's just slide it out. There we go. Come on, baby. Don't be so mean. There we go. I'm gonna rotate it. Bam. Strut bar. I just like to lay things like in the same exact orientation that they were in the car. That way I know when I pick it up, I just set it exactly back in the car. That's like that strip. You know, that way you're not trying to flip it around one way or the other. You know that that is exactly how it sits in the car. This, I would probably put it on like this because I'm special. So you put it down like that. Bonk. Done. Alright, so now that we moved all that stuff out of the way, air filter assembly finally comes out. So I forgot to get my correct torques, but you have an air filter in here and an air filter in there. You can kind of see them. So we'll change the air filters in the box, but first things first, I am getting on to these spark plugs. We're gonna change all the plugs in this thing and see if we can kind of wake her up a little bit. I don't even know what kind of plugs are in here or when they were even last done, so we'll go and get at it. Now there she is. Sits in her little home down there. See where it slots in. Right there. These little tabs here. Lock it in there. And there. Oh, there's your problem. It's made by Delphi. So we got a stripe here. DOP 30208. 08's gotta be the year. So make it original. Definitely not waterproof with these slots in it. Get a good visual here for this plug routing. I'm gonna go and hook the battery and yank her. There she is. And there is absolutely nothing I can see wrong with it. I mean, that looks a little crusty there, but it's not bad. So apart from nothing, those two have nothing plugged into them. All of our plugs here look good. So, and the back side, same thing. I don't see anything wrong with it. So, nothing physical from what I can tell. Yep, lame. I was hoping to find some crustiness somewhere. Well, maybe there's some loose wiring somewhere. Might be able to plug it back in, and who knows. Alright. Looks like fun, right? I don't know what that black box is. Interesting. Either way, yeah, you know, as I've covered, that's our rear BCM, the SAM module. Pulled it apart, obviously, you've seen the pictures. Couldn't find nothing wrong with it. Took it to Mercedes of Farmington in Salt Lake. Paid them $300 to basically tell me that they can't figure out what's wrong with it. He had this whole panel off too in the shop. And, you know, he did point out that, yeah, you can tell there's been some critters in here. You know, there's like a munched up sunflower seed, and you know, definitely some like little nesting stuff. I mean, maybe some moisture, but that's the bumper vent there, and so they can come in through here. And he says that it's not uncommon. It's such a big vent that rodents like to crawl in. So I'm just checking wiring now. Yeah. I mean, don't let the scale fool you. I don't have a small hand. Well, I guess I don't have a big hand. I have an average hand, but that's thick. And those are the airlines for the suspension. Crazy, huh? They just kind of just run through here. Like, it's a $100,000 SUV. I think they would have been a little kinder, but I guess they do what they do. What the hell is that? It's like a cable. I like to just Google part numbers because I'm like, what is that? What is that? I always end up Googling part numbers all day, trying to figure out what things do. Anyway, just gonna check some wires, try to figure out what's going on with this tailgate latch and this parasitic drain. Later. Alright, so we just pulled the SAM out. The whole bracket, which I've never pulled the whole bracket out. Definitely a lot of gunk going on. See that dirt? Oh, look at that. I don't know what you're seeing, but that's just kind of looking up that vent. I mean, obviously I can't get my eyes down there, but that's dirty. And then look at this corrosion here on the bracket, and this tang here sits right there. So I'd say this bumper drain, which if you follow it, gonna be sitting here. So might pull this wheel well out. Yeah, Mercedes are weird. It's cloth. It's like a carpeted material. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, I always thought that was weird. I mean, they hold up really well, so I mean, whatever. But all right, let's get wet. There it is, right there, a little grill. So, yeah, we'll have to play around a bit, but just a little status update there. Alright, so through my investigation, I was able to find absolutely nothing wrong as far as visual inspection. So I have a fuse diagram. This is the power lift gate. I'd have to go back through it to check to see which one of these runs the latch. It's kind of nice they included these power takeoffs here, so you can actually test for 12 volt constant, switched ignition, and ground to the actual bank itself, which would be like, this power pin, which is getting its feed from right there. A nice beefy 8 gauge wire. But yeah, the only thing I was able to find, let's see down here, let's pull this out, was where is it now? I've come back and looked at it like 5 times. Let's see. I can't find it now, but either way, I found one small nick on like one wire, and it wasn't even, there was no broken copper in it. It looked like the right there it is. Let's see. And the copper is pretty much all intact. I think the mechanic at Mercedes was doing some testing there. I mean, it's nothing. It looks worse on the camera, but in real life, it's because the light from the camera is reflecting off the copper. But trust me, in reality, it looks like somebody barely nicked the insulation off. You don't really see any broken copper there. Might be one strand, but it's still a good connection. So it's the only thing I was able to find. So I guess our little friend here is probably just bad. I've opened it up. I'll see if I can include pictures. I think I said that I'll show you pictures, but I'll see how to include pictures in the video, because I don't know how to do that. I'll try to do that through editing. To show you the pictures, I had this apart, I had the circuit board out, and the board looked perfect. I couldn't find anything wrong with it. There was no corrosion, no broken traces that I could see, so a bad chip on it or something, I guess. But either way, I just wanted to come kind of, pull all this apart and really kind of get down in it and see what I could find through the connectors for it. This harness here is the, oh no, not that harness, it's this harness. This harness here is the one that runs to the hatch. And he tested every wire in this. So yep, I figured I'd start checking for something else. It's really interesting, that's got masking tape on it. I peeled the masking tape off and it's completely factory. Nobody's done anything under it. I thought that was kind of strange. Also, all the wiring harnesses on this German car, very German, as you can see. Very, very German. Oh, well, either way, you get the point. Mexico, the Mexicans. I mean, not to discredit anyone's work, but when you buy a German car, I know it's assembled in Alabama, but you think you're buying a German car, not a global car. I didn't think this thing was really that global. I figured most of it was made over there. I mean, things like these modules, that's a TPMS unit, and that was made in Germany. But that's the TPMS system. But I'm curious what that black box is. I'm gonna pull it apart. Probably not gonna record it, but curiosity's got me. I like to learn. But yeah, I couldn't find anything wrong with the wiring, so what do you do? Alright. So this is the Chinese latch. I disassembled it. It's the one I bought online. The night that the OE latch failed. I bought this because it was like $100, which is a lot cheaper than the $400 for the OE one. And it turns out, now I don't know yet because the car hasn't sat all night yet, so I can't guarantee that it's fixed. But at this point, I'm very confident because when I opened up this Chinese latch, all this exposed circuit board here on the OE latch, that's all black because it's waterproofed. Here, you see these sensors? Those are all rubber coated and black on the OE one. And you can see right there where there's a blank. Well, mine has a sensor there. The OE one does. And there is no sensor there on this Chinese one. So, what did I do? I took the OE latch. This was the original motor that failed, this worm gear here, which was the cause for all of this headache in the first place. So, that's all coming apart now that I'm wiggling it around, but... So this is the old worm gear out of the old latch that failed. I took apart this Chinese one, pulled the worm gear drive out, put it in the OE latch, reinstalled everything into the car, well, rebuilt the gearing because all this was out. Rebuilt all the gearing, installed it in the car, it's working great. And this is just the Chinese one here. I put the bad motor in here because I just had to reassemble it before I throw it in the trash because I'm a drug addict. So anyway, I believe after all of this wiring, all of this hunting everything down, tracing wiring, tracing modules, taking apart modules, I believe it's probably just this cheap Chinese Ching Chong China latch the whole time. So we will see if the car's dead in the morning. But until then, here we go.